I hope everyone is well. I just came to talk to y'all briefly before I go in the house. Okay. I'm a little tired. I woke up this morning. I stayed up kind of late last night. That's why my energy is low. Get some rest. Somebody needs to know you need to get some rest. Okay. But I stayed up yesterday pretty late. I was working on something. And you know, I just didn't have the energy I normally would have. But this is for someone. You need to get some rest. It is okay to get rest. It's okay to go to sleep. You're not going to miss out on anything. Turn that television off and go to bed. Okay? Put that phone down and get you some rest. But I had to, I was up taking care of some things and working evening. Oh, that didn't even come out right. I need to, I really need to get some rest. That sounds like another language. But what I want to talk to you all about before I end my evening is setting healthy boundaries, right? Setting healthy boundaries will bring you peace. You will be at peace when you set healthy boundaries. And I know it's hard for some of us recovering people pleasers. We just feel so bad when we have to tell someone no, or we have to set a healthy boundary, or we have to put things in to really protect our peace. And it really doesn't feel good because we hurt too. When you're a people pleaser, you feel like you're rejecting someone. That's why it's important to heal. You feel like you're doing something wrong whenever you tell someone no, or that you can't do anything, or you can't really be there for them at that moment, or they just what they're doing or who they are just on a line with where you're going. I know now I'm very selective. I was looking for something to wipe my screen. I know now I'm very selective about. I've been this way, but more so now. I'm very selective about who I, you know, um, be around. I'm very selective about what type of energy people have and what they're doing, because it really does. It really does messes with, you know, your energy when you're around people who have negative energy or toxic energy, or just energy is, just not on the wavelength that you on. Like your spirit's on the line, right? Um, so I just wanted to make sure that you understand that, like, it does matter who you are around. It does matter who you connected to, who you break bread with, who you commune with. I call it fellowshipping. When you go out with people, it's fellowshipping. Some people are good people to. I like to go out and eat. I like to go out and hang out with my kids and my friends, and people who just have good energy. I like having fun, regardless of what it is that they do, as long as it's not messing up my spirit. Like, if my spirit tell me not to do something and stop doing something, or I don't feel good, I'm not going to go around. That's just how it is. I don't go against my convictions. My convictions are very strong, and I won't feel good if I go against what my spirit is telling me. Some of you all override that. Some of you all override what your spirit is telling you just to please people. I used to be one of those. If you want to know a secret, I used to be one of those. Knowing my spirit is telling me fire, 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 and I'll just override it because, I like the person, or they seem to be nice, or they seem to be kind. I used to just override that. Now I don't override anything. But now that I've matured spiritually, like, a lot of times we do things out of ignorance because we were not taught what healthy boundaries were. Some of us don't even know what a boundary is. Okay, we didn't know, because we saw people not having boundaries growing up. We saw our family, especially in the brown community, African American community, us brown, a lot of us just don't know boundaries because we feel like if the person is blood, they should be up up and all, up and all in our business. We should tell them everything because they're family, right? So we had to learn boundaries. And I was like that too. I really didn't know what boundaries were because I was taught that growing up. I was taught, you don't ask people, you just go because you feel like you're related to that person. You can do and say whatever to them. I'm well, Billy. You can do and say whatever to them, but that's not the case. But the more seasoned I've become, right, which means the more mature I've become, the older I've gotten, um, I I I'm aware of people's, people's boundaries. Um, I'm aware of the boundaries I have. I don't just insert myself in somebody's life or what they're doing without first getting permission or asking if it's okay. I know some people may find it, some people may find it strange when you ask for permission, because they're not used to people asking for permission, which asking, like, is it okay if I do this? Is it okay, if I go here or say this or open this? Like, you know, by me doing that to people, that's also teaching them that's how I want for them to do me. As far as not just, just inserting myself in their space, right? Um, just inserting myself in their space or what they're doing. But most people are, they're not aware, so they do things that they think that's what is normal in their family, right? That's what's normal in their family. So if their family have no boundaries, if their family, if they were raised not to have boundaries, or not to, ask questions or ask permission for things, um, they just don't know, you know? They just don't know, right? They just think the world is like that. They think the world operates how their box, their community operates, their family operates, and that's not the case. you know just like me and my friend, we were talking about something the other day, and we were talking about how we were raised to speak to everyone when we enter into a room, right? And that's just culture. It depends on how you were raised and how you were brought up. You were taught to speak and acknowledge people when you enter into a room, but nowadays a lot of people don't have that same upbringing. So and I told her I used to get mad at people not speaking until I learned everybody's not raised that way. Everybody just don't have that southern respect, right? So, and it's okay. And I told her, just because they don't have it, um, that doesn't mean that you stop doing what it is you should be doing, right? So, um, that's what we, discussed. And, I told her it made sense that um, we still continue to do what it is that we feel is right, you know? So, but everybody don't have those same upbringings. Everybody don't have the same type of, everyone is not raised the same. So, and that's okay. Once you become a little more seasoned and you tend to understand people, a lot of stuff you won't take personal. I used to take a lot of stuff personal because I didn't know. I wasn't really self-aware as, how other people react, and other people are not. And that's just like me. I'm very friendly. 95% of the time, I'm bubbly, outgoing, and talkative. Um, and that's just my personality. I'm an extreme extrovert. I could be introverted at times. I have to test the temperature of people. I don't like to, the wiser and the more spiritual I've gotten, I don't like to exchange energy with everyone. I have to pick up to make sure I got to make sure we're on the same, at least have the same. It's just something I could tell when I could talk to certain people. Okay. That's just my inner checklist. Because some people, I don't even want to talk to them, be honest. I won't be mean to them, disrespect them, but their energy is just not vibing with me. And that's okay. And I may not vibe with them. Because one thing about people, you're not going to vibe with everyone, and that's okay. And that's something else I had to learn. Everybody's not on the same energetic wavelength. You're not syncing together. You're not energetically compatible. And that's okay. And once I realized it was okay, I didn't take things personal. I stopped taking things personal, and I stopped feeling bad, about not being able to be with those certain people. So, but once you start setting boundaries, it's going to bring you peace. A lot of you all don't have peace because you don't have boundaries, right? You let people call you all times of night. You let people text you all time of night. You feel like you have to answer right away. You let people cross your boundaries. You let people come into your space without asking, without getting permission. You kind of let people do what it is they want to do in your life, and that's why you don't have peace. So you have to set boundaries with people. You have to set boundaries. And I know it's hard, especially with family, especially with the parents. Your parents need to have some boundaries too. It's okay to set boundaries with your parents. Like, and if you're a young adult and you have your own place and you're not in their house, even in their house, there are some boundaries that needs to be set, in a respectful way. And you need to set boundaries with your children, vice versa. You shouldn't be able to do everything and anything you want to your young adult children. It's a little stuffy in here, sitting in my car. So you shouldn't be able to do anything and everything you want to allow your children to cross different boundaries with you, and vice versa. Everyone should be mutually respected. One thing I don't like, and I saw this a lot in my family, and I'm sure some of your families